Welcome to Organic Chemistry. This is a subject that's often seen as difficult, with lots of memory work to do. Let's bring you through organic chemistry from first principles. When you understand the chemistry behind it, you memorize a lot less. In this, we are going to use a mechanism approach instead of the traditional functional group approach that your school probably uses. This will not only help you to understand the chemistry better so that you have less memorization to do, but it will also help you to deal with unconventional questions like the A-level setters tend to favor nowadays. It is slightly more work to learn from a mechanism perspective, but on the whole, it is less effort and it is a lot more enjoyable. So here's the outline of the lectures that we will be doing. The first 4 lectures cover basic principles, such as how to interpret organic structures, bonding in organic molecules, what drives an organic reaction, and what affects this process. We will then bring you through a series of reactions, first without stereochemistry, so it's easier for you, and then reactions that involve stereochemistry. Finally, we'll finish up with some other reactions and then put it together by teaching you how to answer different types of questions. The last lecture is a summary of all the important reactions by functional group, and that will be a good reference for you. So how do you use these lectures? It is recommended that you view these lectures in order because each of the subsequent lectures builds on what has been covered before. The only exception to this is the lecture on organic structures, which covers nomenclature, basically how to name organic compounds. If you are a bit too bored with that, you can always skip it first and go back to it later. When you're viewing these lectures, don't just listen, try to understand. Ask questions to yourself. Why does a reaction go this way? Why not some other way? Discuss with your friends. It is also recommended that you copy down the lecture as it is written on the board. And to do this, I will slow down by writing out the mechanism so that you have time to copy down. Organic chemistry is not a subject that can be learned by reading. You need to have pencil, paper, or pen and paper and doodle the structures on your own. That is the only way to learn organic chemistry. Finally, you will need lots of practice, and I'm sure your school will have given you more than enough practice. As we are using a mechanism approach and not the traditional functional group approach, it will also be useful for you to compare what we cover with the functional group approach your school uses. You will also need to refer to your school's notes for exam technique and other details that you have to memorize, such as the definitions of certain compounds, certain names, and so on. That we will not cover, and you will need to rely on your school's notes for that. It is assumed that you are already familiar with physical chemistry, things like stoichiometry, atomic structure, atomic bonding, energetics, kinetics, and equilibrium, and these will only be covered briefly.